It's working now. That's working. Andre,
Pardon?
that's working now.
Yes.
One minute, a little less than a minute, we're almost there. Okay, we're good.
Ready to go? Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to our meeting this evening. And we'll move forward. Well, I would like to call the meeting to order. Moved by Councillor Clark, second by Councillor Corbett, that this meeting be opened at 7 p.m. All in favor? Carried. Before we move forward, we have a delegation that presented a petition with against our bylaws with 494 signatures. First of all, I want to say that council has recognized that people are experiencing issues with these bylaws. And if it doesn't affect you, most people are not concerned about it, but I see where there are a large number of individuals who have signed this petition. And I realize that people, it affects their daily lives, it affects their enjoyment and of their properties, and as well as some people, it affects people monetarily. So I have received this petition on behalf of council. And having said that, when we come to item number 10, we're going to speak to the petition at that time. Okay. Next, we have adoption of the agenda, moved by Councillor Corbett, seconded by Councillor McGuinness, that the agenda presented to council and dated the 25th day of March be adopted as amended by adding item 8B Corporate Services Committee meetings of March 24, 2025. All in favor? Carried. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Here and none. Next, we have the adoption of the previous minutes. Moved by Councillor McGuinness, seconded by Councillor Clark, that the minutes of the regular council meeting of March the 11th, 2025, and special council meeting of March 18th, 2025 be adopted as circulated. All in favor? Carried. Are there any presentations of delegations?
None for
No.
this evening.
Next, we will go on to the question period. We did receive a question period from an individual, and we're going to take this time to answer the questions. And to make sure that I have asked everybody, all council members, if they wish to respond. I'm going to start out with Councillor Corbett, is the chair of our Planning Advisory Committee. And I will read the questions. I'll read them and you will answer.
Sure.
Or anybody wants to come forward and answer. And I can bring forward who has addressed this. Yes. Okay, we have taxpayer that has a few questions. She was unable to make it this evening. So I will read the questions and we'll go forward with that.
Yeah, I think you have to read the whole email.
Pardon?
I think you have to read the entire thing, which from there all the way.
Okay,
Yeah.
all the way down here.
Yeah.
So there's a few pages.
Nice try.
She says, I won't be able to attend tomorrow's meeting and wondering if my comments, questions can be added to the question period. I think perhaps the formal layout of the proposed bylaws and lack of some details is causing confusion and misunderstanding. Therefore, I would like to ask the following questions. For garden suites, bunkies that have existing toilets and sinks, will they have to be removed from the dwelling if the bylaws are passed?
Do you want to answer them one at a time?
Yep.
So I have to work off the assumption that there's some miswording in the question because if she's referring to bunkies have actually never been allowed to have a toilet or sink in it. So I'm not fully clear of the question, but to answer it accurately for what it is, bunkies have not and will not be permitted to have toilets or sinks in them.
Thank you. I'm assuming if I have a travel trailer, it will be allowed to be stored on my property. Just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, I can confirm that. Yeah,
As long as there's a residence on the property.
correct. Yeah.
Okay. We have two amazing neighbors on both sides of our property and also know families that have used their property for over 3 generations as a cottage for family gatherings that will be impacted by the proposed trailer bylaw. I agree, that's not a question, right? I agree that our lake needs to be protected, but if they have or will have an approved waste removal septic system by the township, how is that impacting the lake?
So again, I'll just clarify that this bylaw will not negatively change anything for her. We are not making any changes to a bylaw that affects any trailer on waterfronts or in our hamlets. So there is no changes to any of the existing bylaws with that respect. So if they want to know how they can develop that property to be able to use it, they could build a seasonal cottage, which is a minimum of 400 square feet, or a dwelling with a minimum square footage of 807 square feet as per the building code. So that is how they could utilize that property if they wanted to stay on it, for sure.
Thank you. Anybody else? No? If having a proper septic waste removal system is not enough, what can these families, residents do to allow them to stay on their property and not be forced to sell?
Yeah, again, I'll just reiterate. I mean, they could build a seasonal cottage for a minimum of 400 square feet, or a dwelling for a minimum of 807 square feet.
And they can still maintain the trailer on them?
Not if they have a dwelling, or if they have a dwelling or a cottage, absolutely, they can have a trailer there.
Okay. Before this bylaw is passed, I think these residents deserve options versus being told their trailer needs to be removed in a short period if it's passed. I'm praying Mayor Paquette and council that you will consider this in your decision making. Thank you for your time and consideration. So next we have staff reports.
None for this session.
Pardon?
None for this session.
Next, we have the adoption of committee minutes, Emergency Services Committee.
So our fire chief was unable to attend tonight, so he sent his report in to us. So this report is from February 16th to March 14th. and they had responded to 11 calls for service to date, 19 calls for service for this year so far. Most of the calls have been medical, but there was a car fire and there was a smoke and a house fire as well. But most were medical calls. His regular training has been EMS and medical call procedures and equipment refresher, PPE, bunker gear refreshers, personal protective equipment, the SCBA checks, personal bunker gear inspections, and then cleaning the hall and the facility. Special training, all firefighters took the Establishing a Respectful Workplace training course on February 24th, 2025. And his updates, the new fire chief met with the CAO and staff and met with firefighters and did an introduction and shared vision for the fire department moving forward. The homeowner from the smoke in the house call came over to thank the fire department on attending and doing an excellent job. And they're working on some fire prevention, so ongoing during any incidents and calls. New FPO is in building for 2025 calendar of events. The new fire prevention officer training is underway. Fire and CO alarm inspection plan progress for 2025-2026, which they started last year and did quite a few of the houses already. And for community involvement, they have a recruitment drive to take place soon to get some new volunteers.
Thank you. There's not a motion to accept these.
No,
No, okay,
only individual motions per committee.
okay. These are items for council discussion.
Corporate
Oh,
services.
corporate
Yes.
services there, okay. Moved by Councillor Corbett, second by Councillor Clark. Whereas the Corporate Services Committee recommends to council to pause the bylaw reviews for bylaw 2025-09, 2025-10, 2025-11, 2025-16, and 2025-17. And further, that staff prepare plain language communication to be mailed to all residents and create social media posts. And further, that the bylaws on the Corporate Services Committee agenda of April 21st, 2025, be it hereby resolved that council approves of this recommendation. Any comments?
I have a comment. I think the pause will be successful as long as we hear directly from residents. Many people didn't realize old current bylaw do not permit residents things like additional dwellings, hunt camps, or a trailer on vacant lots. The rules were never enforced in previous terms of council. And this term of council, we had heard residents want the rules enforced. Council looked at the rules and want change, not just enforcement. Hopefully the pause will give residents more time to learn about the bylaws, and they will email or call us, not just the loud voices, but also those that agree with the bylaws.
And thank you. Sorry, Steve.
The only other thing that maybe we could do, I know we're going to come up with a bunch of new literature to make it easier to understand, quicker to understand, so you don't have to read tons of pages and be able to decipher it. We're going to be getting a lot of questions. We got a lot of questions at the meeting. A lot of the questions are going to be the same questions. Maybe we can start an FAQ for on our website and for on Facebook, so that people can maybe, before they even submit to ask a question, look it up and see if somebody else already asked it. It might end up saving a bit of time and it might offer some clarity.
Right.
I think that's a great idea.
And to Councilor McGinnis's point, I think that really the main thing that we want to get across is that doing nothing with these bylaws, especially the trailer bylaw and the housekeeping bylaw with the ADU, means like we've paused, even this council, we've paused enforcement because we wanted to loosen the rules. And so if these are now not going forward, then enforcement will start. And then no trailers on any vacant land.
No
No,
hunt
no,
cams.
no hunt cams, no ADUs. That's what that means. So again, just more clarification.
Yeah, I think for clarity, not during the pause, obviously,
No,
like,
no,
yeah.
no, no, no,
yeah,
once this is
I just wanted to make sure,
resolved.
because
Yeah, no,
I
no,
wanted to
no,
make sure
I
there
think
wasn't a
that- yeah,
misunderstanding. there.
Yeah, I just wanted to be clear about what people are voting for, so.
Mhm.
I understand that there will be a newsletter go out with all of council's telephone numbers on there. And when we asked that all of council note the issues that people bring forward, and the phone numbers are there. Don't hesitate to call. I realize that come out that people weren't hearing and weren't understanding what happened at our town hall meeting, but we want to correct that, and we want to be able to speak one-on-one to you if you have an issue. The phone numbers are there. There's information being sent out as well that may help to clarify things. So don't hesitate, please, to call us, to call any member of council. They're ready to answer your question or bring forward your concerns to council. And when we come back and meet at the corporate services meeting, we will have a better idea of what's affecting everybody and what their concerns are. Okay,
Sorry, you're not allowed to speak.
So point of order, I'll just, Mayor Paquette, the point of order. The proceeding of meetings, so if you could just enforce 13G. In the procedural bylaw.
okay,
So this is the proceedings of the meetings. So it's enforce the observance of order and decorum among the members and guests attending the meeting.
thank you.
Thank you.
You heard the point of order, so if you wish to speak after, then after the meeting, come forward and speak to us.
It's too late.
Okay,
Am I too late? Can I speak? No, I just, I want to echo the mayor's point of engaging with us. One of the most meaningful ways to engage in any democracy is to engage with those that are elected to represent you. Now, it will feel as though it's very restrictive in a meeting. We have this is a very formal meeting, there's very formal procedural bylaws, but that doesn't stop interacting after a meeting, having conversations. We can meet 2 at a time at any given time as this council, because that is under the quorum limit. So I really encourage those, as the mayor did, and very rightly so, to understand that that is the most meaningful way to have a two-way dialogue, to really engage, to get clarity so that we can get clarity on the points you're trying to make. I can speak for myself, and I'm fairly sure none of us would have ran for council if we didn't actually value that as an opportunity to engage with the electorate. So
My apologies.
And that's our phone number, our email is available at any time.
okay, all in favor? Carried. Next, we have the moved by Councillor McGinnis, second by Councillor Featherstone. Whereas the Corporate Services Committee reviewed the public conduct policy, and whereas the committee recommends that council adopt the amended policy, be it hereby resolved that council approves of this recommendation. Before we proceed further, I do wish to make a comment to the entire community. At no time during my objection or the unwillingness to move forward have I not been concerned about the staff's well-being or council's, and as well, I am concerned about the well-being of our community. We did pass this motion. We're passing it tonight at council. I was assured that everything will be in order, and I trust that it will be. All in favor?
I have a
Pardon?
comment. I have a comment. That's.
You have a comment?
yeah.
Sure.
So
sure.
I would like to say, in regards to, I think your concern that I heard the other night, that in section 6 of this code of conduct is a requesting review or restrictions. So it actually lays out an appeal process if people feel that they've been treated unfairly. So it is not an arbitrary decision that staff are going to be making. It's a process. It's an incident report, and there's information about how to contact the Ontario Ombudsman if they are not satisfied with the outcome. So I think that there's a real, there's equity in here on both sides. So it's not to penalize people from coming in and speaking to staff or speaking to counselors. It's about incivility and just inappropriate behavior. That's what this is for.
Okay, thank you. I respect your comment, and I'm just saying that at no time am I disrespectful. All in favor of this? Carried. Next we have a motion for the moved by Councillor Clark, moved by Councillor Featherstone, seconded by Councillor Featherstone, whereas the Corporate Services Committee recommends to Council to host a developers forum, and further that it be scheduled before May 16th, 2025. Be it hereby resolved that Council approves of this recommendation. All in favor? All in favor?
Oh, I think the date
date
was
was gonna be-
subjective, though.
Pardon?
The date is subjective because of the shifting of the bylaws. I think we're going to adjust the date. So that date, May 16th, correct?
Subject to,
I think it's,
You could put June 30.
On or about?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, so.
but still before May 16th?
If I may, because the pause on the bylaws, part of the review or part of the discussion with the developers is to discuss some of the rules that have been loosened. So we can't do that until those bylaws are passed. At this time, we don't know when they'll be passed. So it would be better to put maybe June 30th.
Before June 30th, I think.
Yeah.
If we,
Yeah,
can we
that would be
say,
fine.
Yeah,
yeah, before June 30th?
can I just add? Can I just add, then, I just want to explain a little bit about maybe the discussion, or, I mean, the CAO might be better too. But it is an excellent idea coming from our planning administrator, that we are going to hold a developers forum because there are pockets of land and subdivisions in Bonfield. And so some developers reached out. And so this is our staff being proactive. Do you have anything further to maybe add to that?
No, I think it's a great idea. We hope to do a breakfast and with some of council attending again, just to celebrate and to say that Bonfield is open and here are the rules and here's how we can help you develop in Bonfield. So yeah.
More information to follow. I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, do you want me to go back and read it, or can I just say before June
Fine.
30th?
Just
Before June 30th.
I'm fine, yeah.
Be it hereby resolved that Council approves of this recommendation. All in favor? Carried. There we go. Okay. Next, we have moved by Councillor Featherstone, seconded by Councillor Corbett. Whereas the Corporate Services Committee reviewed the video surveillance policy, and whereas the committee recommends that Council adopt the policy, be it hereby resolved that Council approves of this recommendation. All in favor? Carried.
Your worship, can I just make one quick comment?
Sure.
And it's just to, the community needs to, if you haven't had the opportunity to tune into the Corporate Services Committee meeting, which is online, lots of this discussion, if you're wondering about kind of context or any of the council discussion that happened, that is really the meeting where lots of that discussion happened and the good kind of back and forth and conversation happened. So that's why tonight it seems fairly smooth that we're passing this, but it's because we had very good contextual conversations already. So
Okay, Karen. Next, we have a report by the Public Works Manager. Are you giving a report?
It's the one I gave last night, but I can
Oh.
touch on it if you'd like.
Okay,
It was just our 2024 accomplishments within Public Works.
okay,
So last year, as everybody knows, we ended up getting some new equipment that we've been trying to utilize to the best. We've completed approximately 11 kilometers of ditching on Line 3, Maple, Grand Desert, Greenwood, Ficho, Lakeview, Sunnyside, just to name a few locations. We've also done about 12 kilometers of brushing along Line 3, Maple Road, as well as sight lines and around signs within the township. I just want to touch too, I know there's been some concerns about the new equipment and it getting utilized and stuff like that. So our purchasing price for that excavator, if we do a basic breakdown using the purchasing price and $150 per hour operating rate, it worked out to $81,900 is what we would have paid a contractor in that eight-month time span, excuse me, to complete the work that the Public Works crew did. So that's about 26.74% of our total purchase price of the equipment. That we covered
in a single year,
8 months
8 months.
that we covered. So I think, staff are doing very well to utilize that equipment. We also did 10 culvert replacements throughout the township. We applied 6,402 tons of granular A maintenance gravel on both Line 3 and Maple Road. And just some miscellaneous things. Staff cut 40 acres of grass weekly and bi-weekly through the township. We had 5 burials at the cemetery. We did roadside mowing as well as string trimming around signs, guardrails, and posts. Vehicle repairs in-house as well as repairs to fire department vehicles. Splash pad upkeep as well as water testing in the outdoor rink. The skateboard equipment, as well as grading, ice plating, normal Public Works operational things. And then as well as the landfill. As everybody knows, we recently purchased the compactor for the landfill. With that, I know with the weather now, we haven't really seen it utilized to its full potential. But moving into the spring and summer, I'm hoping that residents will have the chance to, take notice at the landfill to see what we've done or what we're planning on doing with the garbage side of things. As for recycling, we've actually seen from 2023 to 2024 a 6% decrease in the number of bags going into the landfill, which is good to see. Our recycling numbers are actually up, which means residents are following the rules that we've set out, and it makes it a lot easier. We had 36,896 bags at the landfill in 2023. And in 2024, we had 34,651. So it's approximately 2,245 bag difference, decrease from 23 to 24, which goes to show that the residents are recycling more, taking up less space in the landfill. So it's nice to see.
okay. Thank you, Alec. Moved by Councillor Featherstone, second by Councillor Clark. Whereas the Corporate Services Committee reviewed the Public Works Manager report on 2024 achievements, and that the report be used for reporting purposes. It hereby resolved that Council approves of this recommendation. All in favor? Carried. Items for Council discussion, none for this session.
Mayor Paquette, did we miss 6 or 10A?
The strategic plan,
strategic
is it in on
plan
your
is
bio?
10
Is it on?
It's coming up.
Is it coming up?
Oh, it's
Okay.
coming up.
Okay, so it wasn't.
Okay,
in
just
that.
on the agenda,
It's in 10A,
so
yeah,
it's further down.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect, thanks. We just didn't want to miss it.
Okay, next we have Resolutions to be considered for adoption. A motion to adopt the strategic plan. I don't have a seconder.
Oh, handy.
We had just waited.
Okay. Moved by Councillor Featherstone, seconded by Councillor Corbett, that the 2025-2030 strategic plan be approved as presented at the town hall meeting of March 18th, 2025. Any comments? Okay.
I just would like to say that a lot of work went into the strategic plan, and we have had some feedback from residents saying that they thought it was excellent. It's just a good document. It sets out our four pillars, and it actually defines the work that we're doing going forward. It's a nice roadmap and ties the work back to what the direction that council's moving in and the township's moving in.
Thank you.
I was gonna say basically the same thing, so
Gonna
that's
say
fine.
the same
Yeah.
thing. Well, then I can comment further. I did have a telephone call that the individual was at the meeting and was impressed with the strategic plan and the plan to move forward. So all in favor? Carried. Next, we have correspondence. And we have moved by Councillor Clark, second by Councillor Corbett, that council receives the correspondence circulated with the agenda of March 25th, 2025.
Sorry, so I would like these to come back. I already know that, so can I say that now?
Yes.
Okay, if that's okay, so I would like B, the municipality of East Ferris, standing for Canada, the township of Bradford, with the landlord tenant reforms. I want the buy local and Canadian and the US tariffs on Canada purchasing policies. I know you don't, not sure that it goes anywhere, but I think that it's important that we stand by these.
I understand the gesture.
Yes,
I do
so
understand,
I
yeah.
would like those to come back. Thank you.
You may as well include A as well.
Mhm.
It's just for,
So-
it's
It's
just
just
information.
information.
That's why I didn't include it.
Include them all. Moved by Councillor Clark, second by Councillor Corbett, that council receives the correspondence circulated with the agenda of March 25th, 2025. All in favor? Carried. Next, we have the confirmatory bylaw. Moved by Councillor Featherstone, second by Councillor Clark, that the council for the township of Bonnfield hereby adopts bylaw 2025-19 to confirm the proceedings of council from March the 11th, 2025 to March 25th, 2025 as presented, and is considered read 3 times and past this 25th day of March. All in March 2025. All in favor? Carried. Time
32,
7:32.
7:32, yeah.
Okay. Moved by Councillor Corbett, seconded by Councillor Featherstone, that this meeting be adjourned at 7:32 PM. All in favor? And before I adjourn the meeting, I want to remind you once again to be sure to contact the councillors, or when you get the information, to speak with all members of council. If you speak to one and you feel you want to speak to 5, go ahead and speak to 5. But make sure you get your questions out so that you get your answers. Okay? Good night, everybody. There.
Probably one at a time if you want a response, just because we can't advance municipal business.